Stop being a victim. Please, for the sake of your own happiness, stop being a victim. Be someone who can rely on you, who keeps your own promises. You know who you are, you know what you deserve, you know what you like, what you don't like. You are someone who needs to keep your own boundaries. Build so much confidence. It's magnetic, it's amazing. Today we're talking confidence, okay? It really grinds my gears when I see this type of content and people are like, just be confident, or like, just love yourself. And I'm like, okay, keep going. And it's just nothing. And I'm like, I need like a roadmap. I need a to-do list. Like, how do I actually do this? Saying, oh, just fake it till you make it, sure, might work for some people, but clearly not everyone, because if it was that simple, we would all be confident. So I actually created a to-do list. Exercises you can do, like things you can practice to actually become confident in like a tangible way. Have something to work towards, you know what I mean? To me, the goal is quiet confidence. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room, have the most attention, it doesn't matter. You know who you are, you know what you deserve, you know what you like, what you don't like. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. You feel good in yourself and you know what you deserve. You're strong in your boundaries, like just a boss. And it's not fake. It's not just like how you appear to the world, it's how you feel inside, and I think that's the biggest difference. Let's get started. I need a sip of matcha to power me for this. Okay, tip number one, do what you say you will do. Keep your own promises. I know you're like, what does that have to do with confidence? Let me give you an example. Let's say someone's like, throw a party, to your head, invite one person who's gonna show up on time. And you're like, okay, I'm inviting Sarah because I am confident in the fact that Sarah is gonna show up on time. I rely on her for this because she's done it so many times before. So I'm confident that she will do this for me. And that can be an inspiration for the relationship you want to build for yourself. Be someone who can rely on you, be someone who keeps your own promises, someone who's continuously there for you, whatever it might be about, it doesn't matter. But keeping your own promises and saying that you will do what you set out to do builds so much confidence. Even if it's something random, like for example, a few years ago, I decided I will change my relationship with money and I'll start saving. So I decided to save 15,000 euros in 1 year. I did all sorts of things to get to that point, but I did end up saving 15,000 euros in that year, and it changed how I feel, not only in my finances and my business, like I felt much more confident, but I felt much more confident in general about myself, because it feels so good to accomplish something and to stick to your own word. Pick one thing that you're gonna stick to for 3 weeks. It can be like, I'll go on a 20-minute walk 3 times a week for 3 weeks, or I will write down 3 things I'm grateful for every single morning, and watch how your relationship with yourself improves, and watch how much more confident you become in yourself. Because then when you decide to do something bigger, for example, you're like, well, I stuck with going on a walk that many times, like I know I'm capable, and that builds confidence, and you're also much more resilient. Like it just feels so good to show up for yourself. Step number 2, get to know yourself. People who are very confident know exactly who you are, and of course who you are changes all the time, it evolves, but you know what you like, what you don't like. You can start with simple things like, do I like regular water? Do I like sparkling water? Do I want a partner who's active, or do I not want someone who's active? Think about as many things as possible and just be like, do I like that? Do I not like that? You can start with like plants when you go outside. It doesn't matter, just start getting to know yourself. I feel like journaling really helps with this, so highly recommend that. Also, you can write a list of things you'd like to try, and again, this can be small things, big things, whatever. I want to try this kind of tea because I always thought I would be a tea person, or I want to try going on a hike because I haven't done it in years and I don't know if I like it. Just write a huge ass list, and then when you do it, right next to it, didn't like it because XYZ. Oh, I really liked it because XYZ, and now I want to continue going on hikes, for example, and I want to find friends and a partner or whoever who's gonna hike with me. It feels really good to be like, no, I don't like that, I don't want to do that today, but I'm willing to do this instead. Tip number 3, we're staying on the same branch of getting to know yourself, and you're gonna write 3 different lists, and the goal is to make them as long as humanly possible. You can ask your friends, your partner, your family, whoever. You can even Google like different things to add to this list. Just make it as long as possible and continue to add to it. Like, you don't have to do this all in one sitting. So list number 1 is going to be your past successes and contributions. So anything from like, I won a spelling bee when I was 5 to I was the best in my class at whatever subject. Anything that comes to mind, write as much as possible. The second thing is going to be your strengths. So this is more about your character. So I love that I'm good at cooking. I love that I'm resilient. I've gotten beaten down so many times and I always rise back up, and give an example. And the third list is your potential. So this is going to be more about things you think you would be really good at based on your past successes and your strengths, or just maybe even your dreams and your goals. So you can be like, I think I would actually be a really good writer because I love reading. I've always been good at writing, and I think I could write a really good short story. One example. Tip number 4, actively create a positive outlook. Have you ever met a really confident, happy person who just seems like they love themselves and they're in love with their life and they just keep complaining about everything? I haven't. So our goal here is to become positive queens. Like, anything from practicing the belief that like everything happens for a reason, if that aligns with you, or lucky girl syndrome, like I just believe that I'm lucky and lucky things happen to me. I used to always tell myself like, I think I was born under a lucky star, like things just work out for me. So just continue saying that to yourself every day. Also focus on gratitude. Name 3 things, 5 things, however many things every single day that you're grateful for. Maybe at the end of the day you can write about things that you really enjoyed about this day, even if it was awful. And especially if it was awful, like find little things that you enjoyed and actively try to stop complaining. This is a practice. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets, and you start to naturally do it after you've like kind of forced yourself for a little while. So when you stand in front of a mirror and you're brushing your teeth, instead of naming everything you hate about yourself and your life, start naming things that you actually enjoy and like. Number 5, I could and would really like to make a whole video about this. Stop being a victim. Please, for the sake of your own happiness, stop being a victim. I was a victim. That's why I feel so strongly about this. I had a big victim narrative, and I think it came from therapy, honestly. I'm still in therapy. I just switched my therapist. Just start practicing that resilience of like, yeah, it happened to me, it sucked, but I want to move through this and I'm taking the steps to get there. Instead of letting the things that happen to you keep limiting your life. Like, you don't deserve that. No one deserves that. And honestly, being a victim is really not fun. Trust me, because I've been there. Number 6, this is more about how you appear to the world. Obviously, quiet confidence, unshakable confidence doesn't have anything to do with outside forces. Like, you feel confident no matter what. That is the goal, obviously. But when it comes to appearing more confident, obviously we all know about like good posture, standing tall and strong and proud, but also slow down. Slow down when you're speaking, slow down when you're walking. When you walk into a room, instead of like, you know, and I get it, okay? It's intimidating to walk into a room full of people. Next time, practice, like you walk in, look around, and go to your direction slowly. Honestly, the way this changes your vibe is insane. Also, when you're speaking to someone, instead of being like asking a question and the person is thinking and you're like, oh, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, if it makes you feel uncomfortable. Shut up. Just slow down. Being confident means taking up space. I promise you, you will feel so much better and you will appear much more confident. Number 7, again, this is a big topic. I can make a whole video about each of these tips because these are quite like big topics, I feel like. But get to know your needs. Being confident, and this took me a while and it's still something that I struggle with sometimes. means also being confident when you need to tell someone, this is what I need. And especially like a partner, for me that was the hardest thing. Like when I met my boyfriend, it took me a while to be able to comfortably and confidently say, I need a cuddle right now, or I need you to hold me because I'm really sad, or I need you to be more attentive to me today because I just feel a little off and I need a little bit more attention. Stuff like that was so scary for me to say because I was scared of being rejected or being seen as too sensitive, because I've definitely been told that in the past. Like, it's not easy, you know? First, we need to get started with figuring out what your needs actually are. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna actively and frequently, every day if you need to, ask yourself, what do I need right now to be just a little bit happier or feel just a little bit better? And just start writing it down. Maybe get like a needs journal. You can do exercises like imagine your perfect relationship or your perfect friendship or your perfect work environment, and just journal about what you think you might need in those scenarios. In a perfect world, if I could get anything that I wanted to feel happier and just great, my partner would be really attentive. They would listen to me. They would care about what I have to say. They would ask me questions, how I am, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, blah, 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 blah. Just get to know what you need. You can even journal about like your perfect house. What do you need in your perfect living environment? You just start having these little exercises. You can even do this with a friend and have like a little fun dreaming time. Let's just dream about our perfect relationship. What would we need? It's so nice. It's also so bonding to like just out loud say like, oh, actually I think I might need cuddles all the time. And your friend might be like, oh my God, not me, but like I think I would really need to be told that I'm really pretty and gorgeous every day. You know, it feels really good, and you start to just become more accepting of the fact that you have needs and it's normal and everyone does, and being like unapologetic about those needs is powerful. Number 8, create strong boundaries. This actually kind of goes hand in hand with needs, because when you know your needs, you kind of start to figure out your boundaries also. Things that are high value are hard to get. Think of like Hermes. They don't want 10 billion people to be able to afford them. They don't need that. They want a few select customers who are perfect for them, and they will buy whatever Hermes puts out and love it. That's what you want in your life. You want high value, amazing things that are right for you, not like a bunch of assholes everywhere in your friend group, people you're dating. We need to become more ruthless with who we let in, because this is a temple. You know, we're working so hard on our own relationship. We're not going to ruin that by having the wrong people around us. And once you start becoming a little more ruthless with your boundaries, people start to feel it. You start to have that energy of like, oh, this person is not to be messed with. Like, I'm not gonna step on their toes because I just know that I'm not gonna get away with it. Okay, I need to share this because I feel like there's so many girlies doing it wrong, and I used to be that person also, so I get it. When you're communicating your boundaries, especially with men, you need to be quick with it, okay? So this is what you need to say. I don't like it when you do XYZ. It's disrespectful. Done. Okay? That's enough. We don't need an essay. We don't need a whole life story. No. So I don't need to hear like, oh, it's because when I was little, my dad made me feel XYZ. No, if someone's actually really being disrespectful and crossing your boundaries, saying, I don't like it when you do that, it's disrespectful, is enough. That's a clear rule, and that's what boundaries are. Have you ever heard like rules written out on packaging as an essay? I haven't. It's like, keep out of reach for kids, keep in a cold whatever environment. Done. That's enough. And stick with them, okay? That's a whole other thing. You are someone who needs to keep your own boundaries. That's number 1. And again, to tie it back to tip 1, we're creating trust with yourself. That not only creates a beautiful relationship with yourself where you know that you will protect yourself, but it also creates confidence because you're like, I will protect myself. You can be an asshole, sure, go ahead, but I might handle it once and tell you what you've done wrong and that it's disrespectful, but that's it. I don't need that. 9, very quick one. Ask yourself, what would someone who loves themselves do? If you're making decisions, big or small, if you're upset, whatever the situation is, What would someone who loves themselves do? Ask yourself that. The first question that pops up, go with it. The point is that you need to honor whatever pops up. So if you're like laying on the bed all just not feeling great, and you ask yourself that and it's like, go for a hike, then you need to go for a hike. And this is, again, building trust in yourself that you'll do the things that you say you will. And the reason why it's important to go with the first thing that comes up is because that's actually your intuition. It's what comes up before your brain has the chance to like overanalyze and come up with all the excuses and reasons why you should and shouldn't, and why it's blah blah. First thing that comes up. This is from a book called How to Love Yourself. I'll have it in my Amazon storefront along with all the other self-help books that I really like if you want to check them out. And then the last tip, and maybe the most important one, follow your happiness. The people who are the happiest, the most confident, magnetic, the people who love themselves truly, make their happiness their biggest priority in their lives. And that is not selfish. If you actually think about someone who's truly happy and confident and feels amazing and is like, just their energy is magnetic and they love their life and they're passionate about things and they have so much going on and so much they can tell you about, those people are not selfish, trust me, because they're overflowing. They're so happy. They can share so many things with you. They're happy to help you. I don't know how we got this mixed up. It's really not. Like, if you focus on yourself and your own happiness, you won't become more selfish, trust me. The people who are the most selfish are the people who are the least happy, because they think that if they give something, they're like taking something away from themselves, which is not actually true, but it's because they don't have enough for themselves. Have so many things to talk about. Be someone who's so well-rounded, who's tried 10 billion things because it just intrigued them. Not everything that you're gonna try is gonna be like nail on the head, I love this. It doesn't matter, you're still doing something that you want to do and that you're happy to do. And that is key when it comes to building your confidence as well. You're happy, you're doing things that you love, you're sharing things with the world, it feels good, it's magnetic, it's amazing. So those are all the tips that I wanted to share with you. I can make separate videos about probably all of them because I can definitely expand way more. I love to talk, so let me know if you want that. If this was like information overload, take one thing from this video, literally pick one, doesn't matter, one thing, try it out for a week or two, see if it works, try another one. And remember, awareness of a problem is a problem half solved, and you can do it. I promise you. I believe in you. Okay.